So let me give you some history on why I've got an invested interest in you. Back in 1990, I actually purchased a brand new, at the time, Canon Zapshot. And it was just like the end all of end all types of cameras because it was a digital camera. It had a little 2.5-inch floppy disk. You put it inside the camera. You can take up to 50 pictures, then take that information and put it onto your computer, do things with it. You didn't have to take the film to Walmart or wherever it is to get processed. You didn't have to wait for it to be developed. And then at the end, you didn't have to create the image in a scanned format afterwards. It was all in one unit. And I started thinking about what's something that I could create, some software package, or what industry that I might be able to create some software for that would benefit from this. And I started thinking about I was in the insurance industry. I wanted to get out of that. I started looking at the real estate industry. The challenge is I didn't know anything about real estate. So what I did was I reached out. I was speaking at a local user group meeting, and I reached out afterwards and I just said, anybody that knows anything about real estate, come talk to me. And I was fortunate enough at that time to meet up with a gentleman. His name's Sherman Mitchell. And Sherman said, hey, I'm not who you need to talk to. My wife is. She's in pretty much one of the top real estate agents in the Midwest region for this particular franchise. And you need to talk to her. So I got with Peggy. It was one night. We had dinner. It was a great time. We got to know each other, and we started talking about all the different things that I wanted to do with this. And she said, okay, that's great, but this is what I need. And she started listing off a few of the things that she thought she needed. I said, okay, here's what we need to do. We need to make a list of all the different things that you would need in a software package. And let's start looking at how we can make this happen. And at that time, a night or two later, she gives me a list of like 28 different things that she needed. And we started working together and producing some software. So what started off being just some software to deal with, camera and pictures and stuff like that, turned into a much broader, much bigger goal in mind to be able to help the real estate agents. I wanted to accomplish, creating something with digital images, but it actually turned out to be much, much greater. That 28 item list kept growing and growing, and it came down to finding a need, filling a need, and we spent the time to make that much better. She started using the software, and I started seeing not only did the software do what she needed, but it was also not doing some of the things that she really needed to do. And I saw a problem. The problem was that as agents do their business, they're actually sacrificing that precious time. And I figured out through automation, this is something that I could actually solve. So again, it came down to one possible thing that I wanted to do was create the software for doing images. And then it turned out to be much, much greater. It actually became the need to create systems and processes. And we started looking at, what other companies out there have different types of systems and processes that maybe we might be able to focus in on and identify some key elements. And of course, everybody uses the example of McDonald's. McDonald's has a great system for creating hamburgers. The challenge is you get the same McDonald's hamburger no matter where you go. The benefit of that system is that they can have an extremely large turnover rate, but still be able to create the same quality hamburgers that they make. Now, whether you like the quality or you don't, it doesn't really matter. The fact is that the system in place allows that to happen. And you need to have that system in place as well. And as we started developing this, we figured out that not all systems were the same. We created what was called the task series at the time, but that task series had some limitations. And what we found out was every agent was different. Every agent needed to be able to do their own thing. The processes were different. Even if you were in the same franchise for a given franchise in the real estate business, if you're in a different country, if you're in a different state or county or even a city, processes can be different. And what we needed to do is make something that's flexible, customizable, yet still powerful enough to do the things that real estate agents do on a daily basis. And that's where we ended up with the workflow platform.